I used to work as a waiter. A rich boy's eyes fell on me. He used to come to the restaurant. He complained and got me fired. I was wandering around in search of work when he gave me a job in his hotel. But at night, when I was sleeping in the room, he came inside, and then, with me, I was serving orders at table number 9. When the manager called me to him, he said that table number 1 is already booked today. A special guest is coming in it. You get ready well? I started looking at the manager with surprise. I have been working here for the last 1 year, but till date the manager had never asked me to get ready for a guest like this. I said, "Okay, sir, I will do my makeup again." The manager said that guests are going to come in half an hour, and you have to serve this table yourself today. You will manage it, right? I said, "Yes, sir, I will manage it. I have 1 year of experience of working. I have handled different types of customers here. I work as a waitress in this restaurant cum bar. I am currently a student. I study in a university. I live in the university hostel. I have to work here to meet my expenses. The cost of my education is so high that my poor mother cannot bear it. She lives in the village, and I have been here in the city away from her for the last 1 year. I have not got a chance to go to my mother for a year because there is no holiday in this job. The university is closed on Saturdays and Sundays, so I stay in this restaurant all day. The special thing about this is that it is a little outside the city, and the customers who come give very good tips. But the bad thing is that many times the customers, under the influence of alcohol, stare at the waitress from top to bottom with dirty eyes. Sometimes they even touch her, and we have to bear all this with a smile while giving customer service. When boys come here in groups, the situation is even worse. I came to the washroom of the restaurant, started doing makeup, and started thinking who is the guest for whom the boss has asked me to get ready. After about half an hour, the manager said, "The guest has arrived. Quickly, go to table number 1. I had done light makeup, had done my hair properly, and had applied a dark-colored lipstick on my lips. I was wearing the uniform shirt and short skirt, boots on my feet. I am quite tall. I walked towards their table with a lot of confidence. Looking lovingly at the customer, I said, "Good evening, sir. How can I help you?" There were 2 guests at table number 1, 2 boys. One of them was wearing short boots. Most of the boys come here in casual dress. Live music keeps playing. People dance. His face was very sharp. He was a very handsome boy. Just by looking at him, one could feel that he must be quite rich, but I could not recognize him. I saw him for the first time today. The boy with him was in jeans and top. He said, "Raghav, what are you going to buy? Tell me." Raghav's eyes were fixed on me. He asked me your name. I said my name is Sanya. He said, "Suraj, you decide the menu," saying that he extended the menu card towards him and was looking at me from head to toe. I was feeling uncomfortable. I was standing there for about a minute, but he had not ordered anything till now. I said, "Sir, I need my help. Maybe you are not able to understand what to order." After listening to me, Raghav started looking at me and started smiling to himself. I don't know what he was thinking after seeing me. It was not in my power to read his mind. But now I was getting angry. Those people were making me wait for so long. After some time, Raghav said, "We will take some time to decide. Why don't you sit here?" I said, "It's okay, sir. This is my job. How can I sit in front of the customer? I'm an employee here." A smile was clearly visible on his face. I said, "Let me do one thing, sir. You decide the menu. Till then I am going to another table. I will come back to you in some time." I was feeling very odd to stand here. That's why I told him so, because I was standing here for a long time. The rest of the waitresses were running around, working and handling all the other customers. Pooja even looked at me once and was probably asking for help by gesturing. Saying this, I started to leave when suddenly Raghav called from behind, "Miss, how can you leave us like this? We have already reserved this seat." I was getting angry with his words. I said in a very sweet manner, "Sir, you have booked the table but not the waiters. The job of the waiter is to serve all the customers, and right now there is a lot of rush here. I have been waiting for you for a long time. Maybe you are having difficulty in deciding in front of me. Sometimes it happens. We give such customers some privacy." Saying this, I started smiling, looking at Raghav. I explained to him simply that I am not his maid that he will order when Babu is in the mood. Till then he should make the waiter stand and gaze at his body. After listening to me, Raghav narrowed his eyes and said, "Call your manager." For a moment I got a little scared. If he complains against me to the manager, then I might lose my job. I said, "If there is any issue, then you can tell me, sir." Raghav said, "No, I want to talk to your manager only." Saying this, he stood up. He was going to the manager with a lot of confidence when I started following him, suddenly caught Raghav's hand. I was very scared that he might complain against me. The manager had a lot of expectations from me. If he complains against me, then I might lose my job. Holding his hand, I said, "Mr. Raghav, please listen to me for 2 minutes." Saying this, I brought him to the restroom area. I said, "Look, sir, I am a university student. I run my studies by doing this work. If you complain against me, then my job will be in danger. Please don't say anything to the manager." Saying this, I started looking at him with hopeful eyes. A smile came on his face, and he said, "You are very cute." Then smiling, he started to leave. I was in a very bad state due to fear. He went straight and sat on his seat. I was nervous. He was talking about something with his friend. I came and stood at his table. Raghav's friend Suraj ordered some drinks for me. Now I breathed a sigh of relief. I went to the bar and started arranging his favorite drinks for him. After a while, I brought it to him. He asked me to bring some snacks. As soon as I brought the snacks and stood in front of their table, I heard their conversation. Suraj was telling Raghav that if you don't like Monica, then why don't you say no to marriage? You are so powerful. Why do you need to marry a rich girl against your will? Listen to me. Reject this relationship, break your engagement. I had heard this much, I said. Excuse me, sir. Both of them started looking at me. I shared their snacks smilingly. Then they started enjoying their dinner. Meanwhile, I started taking care of the work at the other table. Pooja said, "Where were you, friend? There is so much rush today. We are in a bad condition due to running around." I said, "Manager sir has put me to serve table number 1. Some special guest has come, but it will take time to go to his table. I will help you people." In between, I was also going to Raghav's table and finding out about him. Today, my condition had become very bad due to running around like this. Raghav called me with a gesture and asked me to bring the bill. I came to their table with the bill. After paying the bill, he gave me a tip of 10,000 rupees. I was shocked to see this. We used to get 100 to 500 tips at every table, but till date, I had never received so much tips. Raghav said, "You served very well. Thank you, Miss Aliyah." I said, "Thank you so much, sir." Saying this, I came back to the kitchen. I was finishing the remaining work. It was 2 o'clock in the night. My duty was from 6 o'clock p.m. to 2 o'clock a.m. Sometimes it would be 2 to 3 o'clock by the time I finished work. After 2 o'clock, I came out. I started thinking, how will I go home? My house is about 2 kilometers away from here. I have problem going there at such a late hour. I had to walk at such a late hour. I started walking. Suddenly a car came from behind and stopped. I was very scared seeing the car. Sometimes a crazy customer in a drunken state starts following the waitress. I turned back in fear, and Raghav was standing in front of me. He said to me, "Miss Aliyah, how will you go home?" I said, "Sir, my house is 2 kilometers away from here. My shift ends at this time every day. I don't have any arrangement to go, so I go on foot." He started looking at me with great surprise and said, "Come and sit in my car. I will drop you home." I sat quietly with him. I don't know why I trusted him. Such a rich man is not going to cast an evil eye on a poor girl like me. He stopped outside the university gate and said, "You live in the hostel of this university, right?" I smiled at him. "Thank you so much, sir, for the lift and for your tips. Good night." Raghav smiled at me, and I got off the car and went towards my hostel. When I looked back, Raghav was standing there and watching me go inside. Today, I was completely exhausted, but I don't know why I was thinking of Raghav. I started smiling, thinking about him. 10,000 rupees will help me a lot. I'm studying hotel management. I can hardly manage my expenses. My salary is not enough. I manage my expenses with tips. I don't know when I fell asleep and got lost in golden dreams. I woke up in the morning and came for my class. But I don't know why I was thinking of Raghav. I had seen his full name in the credit card, Raghav Singhania. When I searched his name on the internet, I came to know that he is the owner of a very big restaurant chain. His hotels and restaurants are spread all over the country. Then why did he come to our bar instead of going to his restaurant? Then I saw that he is engaged to a girl named Monica. I had heard those people saying this name. There were many pictures of both of them on the internet. Monica also looked quite rich. I wanted to forget about Raghav from my mind. Why would he like a girl like me? It is because of hard work that I have reached this position that I am studying. Otherwise, I am a farmer's daughter. Only my mother lives in the village who does farming. As soon as I remembered my mother, my mood started to turn sour. After the class was over, I rushed to my restaurant to work. I was minutes late in reaching there. The manager called me and said, "Aaliyah, you are late even today. How many times have I told you to come here on time, so that all preparations can be done before the customers come?" I said, "Sorry, sir, I came here running as soon as the college is over. You know, I am a student." He said, "Look, this is a professional place. Your excuses will not work every day. I cannot employ such a girl. You go and find work somewhere else." I was shocked to hear the manager's words. I have been working here for a year, and in one go, he fired me from the job. I said, "Sir, I am just a minute late, but I stay till after 2 o'clock every day at the time of leaving. You know that it is 2 to 3 o'clock every day by the time I leave. I work extra hours. Then why are you firing me from the job? This work is my biggest support. If it goes away, then how will I meet the expenses of my studies?" The manager said, "With your attitude, you will not get work anywhere." Hearing this, tears came in my eyes. I am studying hotel management. I could show this work in my experience, right now. 1 year of studies is left. What will I do? I was not able to understand anything. Crying, I started walking home. Suddenly, I realized that someone is following me. When I looked back, I did not see anyone there. I started walking, but again and again, I was feeling that someone is keeping an eye on me. I thought that maybe something bad has happened to me today. That is why I am feeling like this. On the way, Pooja also called. I started crying on the phone and said, "I gave 1 year to this restaurant, and in a jiffy they fired me from the job." She said, "I think the matter is something else. The manager received a call from someone. Only after that, he decided to fire you from the job." I got a shock after hearing her words. I thought, who could be the one who complained about me to the manager? Just a few days ago, some boys misbehaved with me under the influence of alcohol. I scolded them. Was this the reason? Because there was a lot of drama that day. The manager asked me to leave at 1 o'clock. I had returned to my hostel. I was very worried. From tomorrow, I will have to find a job again. Otherwise, I will not be able to meet my expenses. I was thinking this when suddenly I got a call on my mobile. I picked up the phone, and the other person said, "I am Suraj. I came to your restaurant yesterday." I said, "I am sorry, sir, but today I am not in the restaurant. I will not be able to help you today. I have lost my job." He said, "But you served us very well." I said, "Sir, maybe someone must have complained against me. That is why I lost my job." He said, "Don't worry. I will talk to Raghav. Maybe you will get some work in his hotel." I was in dire need of work. After half an hour, Suraj called. He said, "Come to the address sent in half an hour for the interview." I immediately left from there for the interview, but started thinking, how did Suraj get my contact number? I had not given my number. The interview was also arranged in half an hour. I felt very strange, but I had no idea what was waiting for me ahead. As soon as I came out of the university gate, I got another shock because Raghav was standing in front of the gate. I started looking at him with surprised eyes. He said, "I was waiting for you. Come sit in the car." I said, "I have to go to this address for the interview." He started smiling and said, "This is my company." I don't know why I was feeling strange with him today. Raghav started smiling to himself and suddenly said to me, "Forgive me, you have lost this job because of me." I was completely shocked to hear his words. I said, "You complained against me." He smiled and said, "I didn't have to say much. He called your manager and told him to fire that girl." Now I got very angry and said, "Why did you do this? I served you well yesterday. If you had any complaint, you could have told me too." My mood was already bad because of Raghav's words, and my mood got worse. Seeing me, he said, "It is your interview. There is no need to spoil your mood, otherwise you will not get the job." I said, "The credit for this also goes to you because you got me fired from the job." He said, "Your manager drops you at 2 in the night, And then, every day, you walk a distance of 2 kilometers. Customers in the car misbehave with you, make a spectacle of you. Someday, you will be in some danger. If you are doing such a good hotel management course, then what is the need of doing the job of a waitress? You will be able to reach the heights only if you have high dreams, or else you will remain entangled in this. His words were sounding bitter to me, but he was telling the truth, so I calmed down, started breathing deeply. Raghav himself interviewed me and got me a job in the reception. He said that as soon as you complete your degree, I want you to take up the post of manager. He looked at me and smiled again and said, "You don't need to stay in the hostel anymore. Here my staff has accommodation. I will arrange a car for you, go to your morning class every day, and come back in the same car and take up your duty." I looked at him and said, "Thank you, sir." He said, "You can call me Raghav only." Saying this, he extended his hand to shake mine. I touched his hand. We both shook hands lightly. The hotel manager had shown me my work. Today was the first day I was sitting in the reception. After my shift was over, I came to my room. I thought how far my life has come in a moment. My salary had also increased a lot. Raghav had asked, "How much is your salary?" I said, "Along with my salary, there is also additional income. I earn 30,000 rupees a month." He looked at me and started smiling and said, "I will give you rupees 50,000 salary here. Will it be okay?" My eyes were wide open after hearing his words. Here, I did not have to tolerate the dirty looks of the customers. I had to sit and work. I could also study in my free time. Thinking this, I fell asleep. Like this, my work went on very well for 2-3 days. I started understanding the work. I was feeling very happy. One night when I went to sleep, suddenly Raghav called and said, "Come to my presidency suite right now." I said, "Sir, my shift is over. I am going to sleep." He said, "Do as I say. I am your boss." Today I got angry at Raghav. The only disadvantage of staying here was that he used to call me whenever he wanted. I have a class tomorrow. I did not feel like going at all. I went to his suite reluctantly and saw that the door was open. As soon as I knocked and came inside, I was shocked to see the condition of the room. Raghav maintains himself very well. The room was very dirty. Things were scattered all around, broken. It seemed as if a war had been fought in the room. Raghav was sitting down in a corner, completely drenched in sweat. He was shivering. I went to him, seeing his condition. I had bad thoughts in my mind. What happened to him? I understood why he called me so late at night. I took a tissue paper and started wiping his sweat, held his arms with force so that he does not shiver, but started looking at his body. I was worried that he might have cut something. I quickly brought water and started giving him water. He was drinking water like a child. Water was spilling on his body. I helped him to get up and said, "Come and sit on the sofa. Don't sit down here." He looked very upset. I don't know what had happened to him. I somehow supported him and made him sit on the sofa. I said, "Raghav, should I call a doctor?" He said, "No. Just stay with me, Aliyah." He held my hand tightly. My hand had started hurting, but I didn't say anything. Maybe he wanted my support. I held his arm and started massaging his hands and legs slowly, but his shivering was not stopping. There was nervousness and trouble on his face. I don't know what it was. It seemed as if he had a panic attack or some mental illness. I couldn't understand. I kept sitting very close to Raghav. I was feeling very sleepy, and I was trying not to fall asleep, but I don't know when I fell asleep with my head on Raghav's shoulder. I don't know what intoxication I had from the smell of Raghav's body that I went into the lap of sleep. Suddenly, his scream woke me up, and I found myself lying on the sofa. Raghav had probably placed a soft pillow at my head. I saw that Raghav was getting worried standing near the bed. I don't know what he was doing. Seeing him in that condition, I ran towards him and held him from behind and clung to him. There was not even an inch of gap between us. I just wanted to calm him down. His body was trembling. Suddenly, Raghav turned towards me and put his hands on my cheeks. Said, "Aliyah, please stay with me today. I need you." He held me in his arms and was still restless. I also held him tightly and started caressing his head. He was still trembling. I said, "Raghav, try to sleep. Come, let me massage your head." I took him to the bed. He climbed on the bed, wearing his shoes. It was as if he was not aware of anything. He was still in suit and boots. I said, "Take off your suit." I took off his suit and shoes and started opening the buttons of his shirt when his open chest came in front of me. I put my hands on his chest, started caressing it, came very close to him. I don't know what happened to Raghav. He pulled me tightly close to him and started kissing my lips. That night, he started getting intoxicated with me. I did not cross any limit because he was already in pain. Maybe that's why he was loving me. He was fighting with some demon inside him. I didn't understand what happened. I didn't know when I fell asleep again. When I woke up in the morning, I was shocked to see the condition of the room. The room was tip-top. It did not seem that there was such a commotion here at night. I got up early. I had to go to the university. I came to my room when the hotel manager called and said that you handle the reception today. I said I have to go to the university. He said take leave today. The girl who was at the reception is very ill. The reception cannot be kept empty during the day. Please adjust for today. I got ready and came down to the reception. Then my eyes fell on Raghav, who was saying good morning to his staff. He was not looking at me. He ignored me and went to his cabin. I called the pantry and ordered coffee for Raghav. After a while, the intercom rang and Raghav called me to him. I went and stood near him. "Somewhere good morning, sir." He said, "Aliyah, sit down. I want to talk to you. I don't know what happened to me last night. Sometimes this happens to me. I get confused. I start seeing the devil and I start trembling. Yesterday you helped me a lot. I think you will be able to handle me. That's why I am giving you a new job from today. Today is your last reception job. After that, you will do another job." I started looking at Raghav with great surprise and said, "Which job?" He smiled and said, "My wife's job. The job of the owner of this hotel chain. Now you will run everything with me, becoming my life partner." After saying this, I don't know what he started to take out from his drawer. While searching, he kept a box in front of me. When I opened it, there was a ring inside it. It was an expensive diamond ring. He made me wear it and said, "Aliyah, I love you. I started loving you at the first sight itself. I thought you are such a girl who will be able to take care of me, because I feel happy with you. I smile with you. Please don't say no to me." I started looking at him. I also had love for him inside me, so I did not refuse him. I could see my heart's desire getting fulfilled. I said, "Raghav, I also love you very much. I did not know what is in your heart, so I never took the initiative." He smiled and said, "Mrs. Aliyah Raghav Singhania, get ready for your new life." I spread a killer smile. So friends, this story ends here. How did you like this story? Do tell me by commenting and do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you.